Hey guys, it's Twice here, and I have an updated deck profile for you. This is post set 13, and I think the improvements that I made to this deck made it a lot more competitive. A little bit more competitive in my opinion than its counterpart, but we're going to get right into it here, and that is my Angel Feather deck, Updated Celestial. And as you'll notice, I am running Hopechild Turiel, who is a non-Celestial, but the reason is that I used to run Peniel, who was the Celestial starter that we got from set 11, and I noticed that I was losing Counterblast to Peniel, and frankly, there wasn't a lot of good rear guards that I wanted to pull from the damage zone with her. This card just lets me get a nice early switch. It's very easy to set up Zerachiel. You can actually take out the counterblasted card that you use to pay her cost, so it's like a nice free switch, and if for whatever reason you need to get her off the field because she's not a Celestial and won't get the limit break bonus, then just use the ability. So yeah, I think it's a really nice utility. Anyway, so going on to the triggers, it's a very standard lineup. General 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 crit. Run Rampage cart instead of Critical Hit Angel. I don't really use crits like that. I mean, I would prefer to have the 5k boost, honestly, the trigger effect, and then the 10k guard. I don't really use those kinds of triggers that often, so I figure it's not really that big of a deal. Plus, I mean, he's the only guy in the deck, so I gotta have some diversity here. And then, 4 draw, and of course, 4 heal. Obligatory, yes, but, it works. So, very, very standard trigger lineup. Anyway, so moving on to the grade 1s. So, I run 1, 2, 3 Marking Celestial Arabaki. She's the 10k vanilla. Very nice card to have early game. Nice early game pressure, and then a 7k booster after that. She's also a really good target if I need to pull something from the damage zone, and I frankly just don't have anything good to put in the front row. Again, a 10k attacker means that when she is getting the limp break bonus, she's swinging for 13 as a grade 1, which is why she's really good to have in the front row. So definitely a really nice card to have. Used to run 4, but the reason that I downgraded to 3 is actually because of this card, Nursing Celestial Nerl, a card that we got from set 13. Nice 7k base, which is good. Ability is that when she's placed on the rear guard, you can add 1 Celestial from your hand to the damage zone, and then you take 1 card from the damage zone, counterblasted or not, and then add it to your hand. So, gets to remove counterblast, helps you get guard if you need guard, helps you set up Zerachiel. It's just all that good switching stuff. A 7k base, that means that she's a 10k booster when the limp break is active. So I always want to be thinking about my cards in terms of what they have plus 3, because that happens quite often in this deck. Really good addition and really nice support. Anyway, so moving on to what I would say, though, is the most important grade 1, and that is Underlay Celestial Hesedial. She is, I would say, one of the best boosters out there, because her own ability states that when Zerachiel is face up in the damage zone, her ability alone gives her plus 3000. So she by herself will be a 9k booster, whether you have 1 damage or 5 damage. So long as there is a Zerachiel face up in the damage zone, she's a 9k booster for free, which is really nice. But when the limit break is active, that means she's a 12k booster for free every turn. It's really nice, actually, to put an Arabaki in front of her, because then that is a 25k column of grade 1s. Yeah, power is just really not a problem in this deck. And then, of course, you run 4 perfect guards, because meta has scary numbers and Chaos Breaker and big things that you want 4 perfect guards. Just good rule of thumb. You always want 4 perfect guards. Alright then, so let's move on to the grade 2s. So, not too many changes, but I think it runs a little bit more consistently. First I run 4 Wild Shot Celestial Regel. She is our 12k attacker. 15k when you have the Limit Break active, so you combo this card with Hesedial and you can hit some pretty scary numbers. In fact, during the Limit Break, this is a 27k column of her and Hesedial, which is awesome because with the trigger it's 32 as a rearguard column, and that's every turn you get the 27. So again, it's just really scary some of the numbers that you can hit, and running 4 just for the sake of consistency, you never really lose anything in this deck because anything you get in the damage zone you can get right back, so I don't really have a problem getting these cards when I see them. And then I run 4 Serial, I would say the most important support card in the deck, because her ability is that when she's placed in the rearguard circle, you counterblast 1, and then you take any Angel Feathers, so she can work in all kinds of decks. From your deck, you put it face up into the damage zone, then you choose one other face up card in your damage zone, and you put that card into the drop zone. So yes, a very complicated skill indeed. However, it's still really good. It's an immediate setup for Zerachiel or Romeo Reverse if you are running that deck for whatever reason. So, she also combos really well in decks like Metatron, just trying to boost up those rear guards. She can help Shamseal. I'd say that she's just one of the best Angel Feather support cards we've gotten in a long time. And as an immediate setup for Zerachiel, you can't really ask for anything else. Then I run 2 Emergency Celestial Danielle, a card we got from set 13. Her ability is rather simple. When she is in the damage zone, a special counterblast 1 Celestial, call it to the rear guard, top card of your deck goes in face up. So you add a card to the damage zone, you can get a rear guard if you need one. Her name says it all. She's Emergency Celestial Danielle. You get this card when you really need front row rear guards, which that was a problem that I used to see in this deck, is that if I lost my front row, for whatever reason, it was kind of hard for me to get it back, but I think she helped out with that problem a little bit. And I do go back and forth in running her and this card, which is Essence Celestial Becca, the 10k vanilla. Sometimes I'll run 2 Becca, 1 Danielle. Sometimes I'll just run Danielle. It really kind of just depends on my mood, but, there's a good balance of them both. I think this is it. She swings for 13 with a limit break, good grade 2 ride, and 10k vanillas, never hurt anyone, so why not? Anyway, that's the grade 2s. Moving on finally then to our grade 3s. So of course I run 1, 2, 3, 4 Prophecy Celestial Romiel. She is the Break Ride for Angel Feather, really nice one at that. Break Ride, 10,000 power to the Vanguard, and you can take 1 card from your damage zone, add it to your hand, top card of your deck goes in face up. So really good in combo with cards like Metatron, Shamseal. Again, that's what I love about some of the Celestial support. It goes really well with like any Angel Feather deck. Her Cross Break Ride to me is a little bit disappointing just because I don't think it really offers much of an advantage, nor does it really give any kind of power. And frankly, I just don't see a reason for running the Cross Break Ride over Zerachiel, who has some very nice, specialized, powerful support, and who can get even better when comboed with the set 13 stuff. So a really good Break Ride, though not, the most impressive. For what Angel Feather needs, she certainly gives it to them. And then finally, I run the original Celestial boss card, which is Solidify Celestial Zerachiel, a card that was truly meta-defining. When she first came out, especially in English, this was one of the best cards out there, because it's free power every turn. So long as you have a face-up copy of her and you're 4 damage, which is really annoying when you drive check a heal trigger and then put yourself at 3, then all of your units get +3. It's +6 to every column, +9 if you have a Hesedial back there. So clearly, free power, very easy to get with cards like Serial or switching cards, She was just a really strong card that helped Celestials really move to the top, especially in places like Japan where they would consistently top 8 or top 4. Celestials was a really good archetype because of this boss card, which is why I'm still running her, even though Romeo Reverse is out, because frankly I think she's better. The Celestials have managed to balance power and consistency because of this card, and ultimately she's just a really good boss. So, the secondary skill, Special Counterblast +5, it's, just adding to that power. If you Break Ride her and you have Hesedial in the back row and then you a Special Counterblast, she swings for 41,000. If your opponent doesn't have a perfect guard, they're dropping their whole hand. That's just the way it goes. So I think Zerachiel is truly one of the best boss cards out there. Still to this day, with her new support, she gets even better, and I think this deck made it a lot more consistent. So, hope you guys enjoyed. I certainly do enjoy this deck, and we hope to see you soon. So have a great day, keep card fighting, goodbye.